Before we go any further, just want to say today's video is going to be brought to you by Fandomion. If you want to buy some really awesome anime merch from My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, and Haiku, and so many other anime, I recommend using my link in the description box to check them out. And there's free worldwide shipping on orders over $39. You'll also get an additional 5% off using my promo code down below. For any of you guys who might be interested or on the fence, I highly recommend checking out their website. Pay attention to the size chart. That'll be the biggest thing I would tell you guys. But with that being said, though, let's jump back into today's video. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the big reveal that we got in the last Boruto manga chapter, which is this reveal that Kashin Koji, he's alive. And while there are some people that are pissed off that him being alive seems to have come at the expense of Sasuke Uchiha, the last real Uchiha alive, because since Kashin Koji is alive, Sasuke is stuck in a tree, allowing his hawk summoning to build a bird's nest on him. I don't think we're paying enough attention to how big of a deal that it is that Kashin Koji is alive, which is why in today's Naruto Explain video, I wanted to share with you exactly why I believe that Kashin Koji being the one to guide Boruto through the events of Boruto Part 2 is such a big deal. For however long that Kashin Koji is going to be around, this is actually good writing. So let's just start with the biggest thing that we have here, which is that Kashin Koji being alive, it gives us the most obvious straight line answer to Boruto learning the flying Raijin, while also building on a key concept that we had in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, which is this whole concept of cloning. Kashin Koji is Jiraiya's clone. We saw both during the battle with Ishiki and the subtle hints before that Kashin Koji had memories of Jiraiya inside of him, even though they were fragmented and he couldn't make full sense of them. He was still in possession of those memories, and they were starting to flood backwards. It's something that is a theory in real life in the scientific community, which is that memories can be contained in genetics, and we saw how Boruto has played with this because Delta is a clone of Amado's daughter, who is specifically stated to have the memories of Amado's daughter. The only thing she was lacking was her soul. It's not terribly hard to draw a straight line from Boruto learning the flying Raijin to this, because you can just write it off as Jiraiya knew the mechanics of how to perform the Jutsu, how the Jutsu worked, only he didn't actually master the Jutsu itself. You could even take it a step further and say because of the high chakra cost that flying Raijin requires just to do the basic teleportation, which is something that we're specifically told in the manga takes an enormous amount of chakra just to use basic teleportation, which should make you look at Minato spamming the Jutsu in the way that he did that much more impressive. You have wiggle room to play with here, but let's take it a step further. Kashin Koji being around also continues to build on something that started before Boruto, but you'll have brain dead Boruto haters who regurgitate the same talking points they hear the same 3 or 4 creators say, or that they'll see on a TikTok or they'll see on Reddit or something from people that are really exposing themselves for not being familiar with the Naruto lore. They'll tell you that all this stuff started with Boruto Naruto Next Generations, that cloning started here and all the conflicts started with cloning in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, and that it was shoved in our face because of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. However, the truth is that it started with Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage in the Scarlet Spring, which is better known as Naruto chapter 701 to 710, or the Shin Uchiha arc in Boruto's anime. Back in 2015, Kishimoto drew those 10 chapters to finish out Naruto's story in manga format as bonus chapters, and the theme of genetics was a huge part of it, and the reveal that Orochimaru was conducting cloning experiments this entire time, and we had the whole moral debate that was going on in the backdrop of those chapters with Sasuke and Orochimaru getting into it and Sakura and Shin getting into it. Kashin Koji represents cloning in Boruto just as much as Mitsuki does, and as does Delta. But 2 out of those 3 clones have ties back to Amado, which is really important, and it's why we need to appreciate Kashin Koji being back in the story in the capacity that he has been. Genetics is something that Boruto Naruto Next Generations has had in our face for the entire time, from the Karma Seal being revealed to be a tool used by the Otsutsuki to extract the genetics of an Otsutsuki into their vessel for the means of resurrection. The reconstruction of the Karma Seal onto Kawaki was done by Amado to give Kawaki the Karma all over again, and it was Amado once again playing with genetics to reverse engineer the Karma Seal onto Kawaki. Kashin Koji, before he died, was beginning to get back the memories of Jiraiya from Jiraiya's past life, and it was stated by Ishiki that Kashin Koji, like likely had more unfinished business with Amado, who just happens to be at the center of the efficacy of genetics in Boruto Naruto Next Generations and the efficacy of science in general when it comes to what's being shown to us in the Boruto era. It's something that we do have to sit back and think about now, because Kashin Koji being alive means that the unfinished business with Amado, it will come back center stage, and it just happens to be during a time where Amado is planning once again to do something unethical, which is he plans to revive his daughter. Now, at face value, you might hear that and go, hey, wait, what's the problem there? The guy just wants his daughter back. There's something wrong with that. But look at the debates that the story has had when it comes to the subject of cloning. Mitsuki is a clone, yet Mitsuki is human, has his own wants, desires, dreams, and emotions. It's what the fabrications in Boruto's anime were struggling with. They're playing with the whole concept of, hey, do clones even have a heart? Are they actually human? Kashin Koji himself was seeking answers into the meaning of his existence, and that brings us to Delta. She might have a nasty temper, but at the end of the day, she's still a clone. She has her own personality, and we see that Amado is disappointed in her because she doesn't have the soul of his daughter. She looks like her, she sounds like her, and she has her memories, but she is not her. Delta is Delta. Akabi is Akabi, and there within lies the moral dilemma. When Kawaki implants his karma seal onto her, Delta at each passing moment will have her soul erased, and it will be replaced with Akabi's soul. She has no say in the matter. Amado views her as expendable for the sake of his own desires, which is to see his daughter brought back to life. That's the morality, and the lack of choice in the matter is going to be something that Kashin Koji is going to be in a unique position to take advantage of from that narrative perspective, because he's been on the other side of the gun when it comes to Amado. He is a clone of Jiraiya. He was sent on a suicide mission and misled by Amado. He's not going to take too kindly to Amado doing something similar to someone else, playing God and deciding who lives and who dies. Now, taking it a step further, Kashin Koji is best suited to train Boruto opposed to someone like Sasuke because of life experiences. While Sasuke might have fought more Otsutsuki than Kashin Koji, and has done a whole hell of a lot better fighting Otsutsuki than Kashin Koji. Kashin Koji was there inside a car watching as Code and Kawaki were being trained by Jigen. He knows the methods of stimulation that were used to get each child to bring out the true power of karma. He's the one best suited to train Boruto. Whereas someone like Sasuke would be flying blind in this scenario because when it comes to karma, he doesn't know a lot. While Sasuke would be smart enough to progress through things via trial and error, Kashin Koji allows you to step in that department and basically sidestep all the what if conjecture that might exist when it comes to training someone like Boruto. And it's because of those unique circumstances Boruto finds himself in. Also, it will once again allow for those handy dandy parallels that Masashi Kishimoto is fond of using in his writing and switching things up so it's not a complete repeat. Jiraiya trained Naruto to harness his power of the beast inside of him, and now you potentially have Kashin Koji who has trained Boruto to try and do the same thing. Only instead of trying to control the chakra of a monster, it was Kashin Koji trying to train Boruto to control the power of a being who looks at chakra monsters and thinks to himself it's snack time. That will be a decent of enough twist that makes you work in a way to where the narrative actually pans itself out. It would also further build on that question of Boruto's manga initially open up with, which is where does science fit into this world of shinobi? Kashin Koji is literally a child of science via genetic cloning. His body is literal ninja tech. He is a cyborg like the other car enters, a human with mechanical enhancements. However, he's also a shinobi who uses the ninjutsu of his genetic father Jiraiya, and in more than one case he actually uses ninjutsu far better than Jiraiya ever did, but that's not anything too hard considering the fact that Jiraiya was a bum. Now, Kashin Koji being back not only represents that, but also serves as a bridge to what is clearly being cooked up as a result of what we've seen with these Ten-Tails developing personalities of their own. Just as the ninja story of Naruto developed something different over time and evolved over time, we're seeing the science aspect of Boruto evolve, and I think that's where Kashin Koji being back is going to be used as a bridge or something bigger, either directly or indirectly. I think there's more to this than just having a cheap grab at nostalgia, but I am curious to know how you guys feel about this. Do you think Kashin Koji being alive was the right move? Was this the right play? And do you think he was the best person to train Boruto? While you think that over, click here to watch this Naruto Explained video you see on the screen right now.